Good day, my wonderful students. How are you today? I hope you are all fine. You are welcome to another government class. Settle down and get your writing materials ready. The topic we are considering this morning is the continuation of what we did last time. Is what I call Colonial Administration in West Africa Part 2. Colonial Administration in West Africa Part 2. Let's look at the learning objective. At the end of this lesson, you should be able to state the negative and positive impacts of colonization. State the negative and positive impacts of colonialism. 2. Compare the British and French colonial administration. And lastly, you should be able to differentiate between the administrative policy in British and French territories. Before we proceed, let us look at the correction of the assignment for the previous lesson on Colonial Administration 1. Question 1. Give 4 reasons for the introduction of colonialism in West Africa. Answer. 1. For political and imperial ambition of some European powers. 2. For economic reasons. The third reason, imposition of foreign culture. And the last one, the fourth one, the search for new markets. Question 2 of the assignment. Discuss the indirect rule system and why the British adopted the system. Answers. Indirect rule was a system of colonial rule which used traditional authorities as middlemen between the colonial administration and the people. In the areas where there was a strong relationship between traditional rulers and the people, the system was very successful. Question 3. Explain the policies of administration and why the French adopted these systems. The answer. The policy of assimilation was the fourth policy. This principle was meant to change African men into Frenchmen. They wanted the African men to behave like them, to reason like them, to just be like them in all aspects. It was based on the arrogant belief that French culture and civilization was superior to those of other races in the world. Continuation of the question 3. The policy of association. As a result of intensive oppositions and worldwide condemnation, France therefore abolished the policy of assimilation and embraced the policy of association. This policy made the French authority to respect and recognize the people's culture in their colonies. That is the area, the territory they colonized that time. Having said that, let's now go straight to the topic of today. The first subtopic of this today's main topic, let us look at the impacts of colonialism on the British and the French colonies. That is, the territories they colonized. Let's see the impacts of British and French over those colonies. We are going to look at the negative impacts of colonialism first. The negative impacts. 1. The means of communication were not constructed for the benefits of Africans. They were not laid down to facilitate internal trade in African communities. All roads and railways led to the sea were built to extract cotton, gold, palm produce, groundnut, cocoa, etc. just for the easy access to these products and to travel them down to their country. Second one, Africa was being exploited by capital produced by African labor. There was exploitation. There was no doubt about that. From the labor of the African people. Another one, colonialism failed to advance Africa and not the part of human resources. So that colonialism failed to advance Africa and not the part of human resources. Another one, it was a negation, that is opposite of freedom. It could not possibly bring modern political liberation to Africans. They concentrated their efforts in the areas of producing cash crops like cotton, palm produce, groundnut, etc. for industries in Europe without any effort made to encourage the people to go into the production of food crops. Because this one, they are cash crops. And they were getting money as fast as they can. They could then. So they failed to encourage the people to go into the production of food crops. Let's now look at the positive impacts of colonialism. As we have disadvantages, there are advantages too. The first one there, some former colonial territories, especially the French territories, receives military and technical aid from their former colonial masters. And it's still happening to today. Go and look at the countries colonized by the French people. They used to support them anytime there is a crisis, maybe war, their colonial masters they are readily available for them. Another one, trade relations was established with Britain and France. E.g., Britain is the major trading partner with its 4 former West African colonies. Look at this. Look at this picture. The woman here was the Queen of England. Look at our military. Like I said, they received military and technical aid from their former colonial masters. Look at our own military men. They were on parade. Look at the one from the French colony. So they received this aid from their former colonial masters. And this picture have just portrayed that. The uniform civil service was developed along that of the British and the French system. So they brought down the same civil service down here. The way the services were being operated here, they brought it down here just to make sure that there was a kind of a uniformity. And also, the introduction of a Christianity tended to break the societies which the traditional religions had united. Though the Christianity came alongside with colonialism. So they brought the gospel of our Lord Jesus Christ, and they brought the word. The Bible. That was the emergence of what? Christianity in West Africa. Colonialism promoted the development of common languages among the colonial territories. English was developed and spoken in British territories like Nigeria, one of them, while French developed in French territories like Ivory Coast, Togo, Niger Republic, to mention but a few. There was emergence of the press, especially the print media, newspaper. The press developed and became the mouthpiece of the people in the struggle for political independence. Yes, reading and writing became important and gave the poor an opportunity to rise in the society. Record of events got written down rather than memorized for oral reproduction when needed. Then I look at the comparison between the British and French colonial administration. Another subtopic. Let us compare them. The primary aim of French colonialism was to create French citizens out of assimilated Africans. That was their primary aim. To change African people, to become French citizens in law, in all ramification. While colonized people under the British could only be British subjects and not citizens. Another one, the French adopted direct rule system, which we can call total centralization, while the British adopted indirect rule. This one, we can call this one centralization or centralized system, while this one is being decentralized. Another one, Britain recognized and respected the traditional institution. France destroyed the institution, appointed chiefs, and dismissed them at will. Not permanent. Those appointed were auxiliary and used in collection of taxes. Another one, Britain allowed the formation of political associations in our colonies. That was when we had the first political party formed by Sir Macaulay, NNDP, Nigerian National Democratic Party, in 1923. And we have NYM, NCNC, just to mention but a few. But France opposed and suppressed the formation of political parties. Another one, British indirect rule was a system of decentralization. I mentioned that one earlier. But the French was highly centralized. That is, French people dominated the system. Why? British allow Africans to be part of their administration. There was mass education by missions. and government in British colonies. Missionaries brought education. They brought both religion and education. But it was restricted in French colonies. Only a few had access to education. Another one, the parliament in Paris, with representatives from colonies, served all the colonies under the French, while Britain allowed legislative houses in her colonies. Now, let's look at another subtopic, differences between administrative policies in the British and the French colonies. Let's look at the differences between the two policies, the administrative policy of the two. First, the British were much interested than the French in retaining chiefs who had traditional claims to office. The French, unlike the British, were sure of how they wanted to relate with their territories. See the differences. Another one, the chiefs in French territories had no police force and no prisons like those in British territories. All in all, the judicial role of chiefs under the French was considerably reduced from what it was before colonial rule. The chiefs in French colonies had no local government of their own with a budget and control of appointments as the chiefs in British colonies. French had no local government in their colonies, which they can call their own, with a budget and control of appointment as the chiefs in British colonies. Another difference, unlike the French, the British were not interested in making Britons of the citizens of their territories. They were not interested in making Britons out of African citizens. They were also not interested in integrating the culture of their territories with that of Britain. They were not interested in doing that. Look at the French colonial governors in West Africa. Look at the policy of assimilation. Look at this soldier, fully armed, and this is a child from the French colonies. Also taught how to arm himself. That's the real picture of a policy of assimilation. Trying to make French out of the African cities just to be like them. Now, the reference materials. For you to study and understand this topic further, read Essential Government for Senior Secondary Schools by D.B.C. Chris. And also, New Approach Government for Senior Secondary Schools by Oyediran. Now the assignment. Number 1, discuss 2 negative and positive impacts of colonial administration in West Africa. If I were you, to make it more easy, make it in a tabular form, put the negative impacts on the left side and put the positive impacts on the right side, and put the points under each column. Discuss 2 negative impacts of colonial administration in West Africa and the 2 positive impacts of colonial administration in West Africa. The second question, compare and contrast the administrative policy in the British and French territories. That is, you will compare and contrast them. That is, similarity and the differences among the administrative policy in these 2 different territories. Now, question time. Question time. Who can tell us from the class the positive impacts of colonialism in West Africa? Yes. Colonialism brought Christianity. Yes. And education. Clap for him. Yes, you. It brought uniform civil service. Just like how they operated their own civil service then. In both France and Britain, they brought down that system just to make sure that there was a uniformity. Wonderful. Clap for him too. Yes, another one. Yes, you. There was emergence of publication, newspapers, creating awareness of how to get our own self-food then. Yes, give him a round of applause. Yes, you can tell us few of the negative impacts of colonial administration. Yes. In the area of communication, yes. The roads that were constructed then and the railway that was built was not just for the benefit of the Africans, but for the colonial masters just to get access to our farm produces like cotton, cocoa, palm produce, just to get easy access to them, and a channel to get them through, just to pass them across to their to their country. Clap for him too. Yes. You want to give us one? Yes. Like French trying to make French out of Africans, Abi. You can say it's part of negative impact too, yes. Give her a round of applause too. Yes, another one. It brought exploitation, correct, exploitation. Because they only train Africans on how to produce cash crops. They fail to train them how to produce food crops. So they were just, getting all the cash crops out of the African territories where they colonized. The one that would give them money just from African territories, just back to their own base. Okay, fine. Yes, you can still give us more positive impacts of colonization on West Africa. Yes. Reading and the recording was made easy compared to former, meditation, cramming, orally. So they train African people how to write, reading and writing. They taught them how to read, how to write, how to document things. Unlike before, they had to do that through cramming, meditation, orally like that. Okay. I think this is where we are going to stop for today. Make sure you do your assignment, and then when we meet next time, I would like to have your assignment for marking. So thank you for listening. Have a wonderful day.